person coaching your child is secretly hunting them online. A teacher used Snapchat to groom girls as young as 13, and that's just the tip of an iceberg law enforcement is scrambling to expose. In 1 week, the FBI arrested over 200 alleged child predators nationwide. That number is staggering, and experts say it's only what they caught. What they didn't catch, maybe even more worse. A trusted priest, a school teacher, a neighbor, all arrested for abusing children. These aren't strangers in shadows. These are people parents welcomed into their communities. Strangers aren't the biggest risk to children. The real danger usually comes from someone they already trust, and that's what this controversy matters more. So, why the conversation about pedophile matters? All we want to believe the world is a safe place for our children, but for parents and caregivers, there is one nightmare that never fully goes away. Today, we are going to understand who the child molesters called a pedophile. They target children and how they groom, how we protect our kids so far. So, first of all, identify the child pedophile. First, who is a child pedophile? It is someone with a persistent sexual attention to prepubescent children. It's classified as a psychiatric disorder. Not all are on it, but when they do, the damage is lifelong. Plus, most people don't want to hear predators don't look dangerous, they look familiar. They are rarely the dirty old man in the park. They are more often the clean cut neighbor, the trusted coach, the teacher, the religious leader, sometimes even your family member. In fact, around 90% of the child sexual abuse is committed by someone the child already knows and trusts the more. That's what makes this case so hard to spot. What makes it chilling is how subtle it is. They don't rush, they just blend in. They give special attention to the child, and then they test boundaries by ticking, just sitting too close, hand on the knee, an accidental touch. Each moment is small enough to explain until it's not. If an adult is interested in your child, makes you feel uneasy, that quite queasy feeling, listen to it. Instincts exist for a reason. These individuals hide in their plain sight. That's what make them more dangerous. So why the predators target children? Every parents ask the same question again and again. Why would someone do this to my child? There is no justification, but there are patterns you need to recognize. Others struggle with adult relationships, and equal healthy connections feel for them so threatening or overwhelming. Children don't just challenge them. Okay, children are easier to control and silence. And for many, the real driver isn't just sex; it's control. Predators are often described as social hunters. They look for vulnerability, children who are lonely, shy, naive, kids with low self esteem, disabilities, or parents who are exhausted, absent for the child, or overwhelmed. They look for void and step into that. By becoming this one adult who understands the child the more, they create that emotional dependency by giving the attention, gifts, money, favors, privileges, or protection. They silence the doubt completely. And when the child finally questions what's happening to them by the predator, already give love guidance. So how they live with it. So they just rationalize and they can't deny. They can't just justify. Understanding gives us eyes to see things sooner for our child, and you need to see the common patterns. The position of trust is access is everything. Predators deliberately place themselves where being close to the child so that feels normal and unquestionable, like schools, sports, tutoring, religious spaces, youth groups. Authority gives them cover, so they create kid-friendly environment. Learn what the children like and blend so seamlessly, easily into the community that feels less suspicious. So many are, you see, single, gonna be emotionally detached. Some intentionally date and marry partners who already have children without any support or preferred age range. So preference for children, like they are more comfortable with kids than adults. This might show up as emotional maturity, excessive playfulness, unusual level of involvement in the child's life. There is a kid magnet home, a home filled with toys, games, snacks, entertainments, especially when no children live in that home. That is a serious kind of red flag. And also unstable work or location history. They might have frequent moves, they lose their job suddenly or change it, they quietly leave after concerns, surface, avoidance of scrutiny, all those kind of things. And then the profile hidden in the plain sight, nearly 90 percentage of the abuse is committed by someone the child and the family already knew and trust. They help the parents, often write them to show up reliably, trust. They build a trust for long term with already the boundaries might have crossed without any suspicion. Adults who prefer the children over peers, over eager volunteering in the child centered space. Again, child focused homes without residing children in it. So boundary testing they will do disguised as a playful as affection. And then the dark motivation behind this is just about desire. It's about, as we said, it's about power and control. They by themselves might have been abused, and they never received help on time. So unprocessed trauma, they can repeat itself. Others struggle with equal adult relationships. So children don't challenge them anymore. There is an imbalance that is gonna be so much intentional for their good things, so that the calculated process happens. The predator, they just don't only groom the child, they groom families, they learn routines, they earn the trust, and then themselves so deep that questioning of them is uncomfortable for the parents itself. So they just create a special bond with the family, introduce secrecy with the child, and gradually isolate the child from the family. So they make the exit route so hard for the child and the families too. So behavioral red flags, they will test the boundaries. So these should never be dismissed as these are gonna be very harmless at the beginning. So roles like the children's preferring roles over adults, accidental touches, excessive amount of rough plays, singling out one child, one particular child with gifts or privileges, pushing for a long time, or else like tutoring, sleepovers, languages like don't tell them, this is just between us two. If someone makes you uneasy and you can't explain why, trust that feeling. Discomfort is often the first sign of your intuition saying is something is warning happening. So, like, protection isn't just about just carrying your children or yourself. It's about empowering all of us, okay? And keep the communication open between your child. Children must know that they can talk without any fear or punishment from you. So, teach body autonomy. Use the bad things to rule. Anything covered is private, and explain bad secrets, surprises are okay. And secrets that cause a fear or discomforts are not okay, and monitor their online spaces. Thoroughly grooming happens quietly through gaming zones, chats, social medias. Be present and stay involved. Predators target the isolated child who feels unseen or unsupported by the family. And there are some stages of grooming where grooming it's gonna be so much calculated and slow and intentional, designed to gain access to the child while staying completely invisible to the world. It usually follows some pattern, and predators firstly choose vulnerability. They look for children who feel, as I said, lonely, insecure, poor, unsupervised, or emotionally neglected. Kids whose parents are overwhelmed, they by themselves are distracted or absent for the kids' emotional thing. They earn the trust and they help with their homework, and they also go for extra coachings. So they produce themselves as reliable, helpful. That comes with an emotional hook. The child is made to feel special. You can tell me anything you want. The predator becomes what? The main confidant to the child, slowly replacing their parent, the healthy adult support. After that isolation, what happens? Like extra practices, private lessons, trips, alone time becomes almost normal to the child. Only those the sexualization, then the sexualization, begins, and then it starts small, like tickling, or else like rough housing, around the shoulder, a hand on the knee, a step test, like until how much the child can tolerate. So for the secrecy, don't tell anyone. Someone, sometimes it's guilt, sometimes they fear the kid, sometimes they threat, provide threats like don't tell anyone, it will cause reputation risk. That becomes a trap for the child too. So we need to break the silence on this. If the child even tells you something that happened to him or her, believe them immediately. Report the suspected grooming or abuse to authorities or child protection services without delay. And silence protect the predators. Remember that avoidance not protect your children. So your decision is gonna save your child's entire life. Remember that.